Hello dear students and welcome back to the history part of social science for class 8th, and today I am going to provide you the part 2nd of chapter number 8, that is colonial education and its impact. Okay, as in the previous part we have learned about that how was the Indian education before the arrival of the Britishers in India, as well as we have seen that the Britishers were also divided into two groups regarding the education to be followed in India. Like we have learned about the controversy that arose between the Anglicist as well as between the Orientalist communities. Okay, we have also seen that Orientalists have established some of the very famous colleges to promote Oriental languages in India, and we have also seen some of the famous Anglicists, that is James Mill and Thomas Macaulay. Okay, we have learned about their point of view regarding Indian education and Eastern education. Okay, we have also seen about the Charter Act of 1813, that how the Charter Act of 1813 had allocated the sum of 1 lakh rupee for investing on the promotion of English language in India, as well as we have also learned about the Minutes on Education, a famous speech of Lord Macaulay, in which Lord Macaulay basically focused on the English as well as on the Western education in India. Okay, we have also seen that after the Minutes on Education speech of Lord Macaulay, the English Education Act was passed by the then Governor General William Bentinck, and in that English Education Act basically two provisions were given. The first was the medium of instruction will be English, and the second was to stop the promotion of the Oriental institutions in India. Okay, and let us continue the chapter further, and here we are going to learn about the most famous note or the most famous note on education. Okay, so we are going to learn about Wood's dispatch. Now students, you will ask me, from wood you will understand it is a wood that we get from tree, but it is not like that. Wood's dispatch is on the name of the person who issued this note on education. Okay, so basically Wood's dispatch was a note on education. This dispatch, this note or this writing on education was sent from the British Parliament or from London to India. Okay, and it outlined that which type of education should be followed in India. So basically Wood's dispatch was a long note prepared by, now who issued this Wood's dispatch, his name was Sir Charles Wood. Okay, so Sir Charles Wood issued a long dispatch or long note on Indian education which is to be followed in India. Okay, and on the name of Sir Charles Wood only, it was known as Wood's dispatch. Okay, now the question arises, who was Sir Charles Wood? So Charles Wood was the president of the Board of Control of East India Company. He was the president of Board of Control of English East India Company. Okay, and basically this charter was sent during the period of Lord Dalhousie, when Lord Dalhousie was the Governor General of India. At that time only, in 1854, this Wood's dispatch was sent to India, okay, from London. Now, this Wood's dispatch outlined the education policy that's to be followed in India. Okay, so basically Wood's dispatch was also known as the Magna Carta of education, or we can say that it is also known as the Magna Carta of Indian education or modern education. Why it is known as Magna Carta? Because it is the reality that before the arrival or before the introduction of Wood's dispatch, earlier also in India there were some colleges. I gave you example of IIT Roorkee. IIT Roorkee was also established in India in, I think, in 1847, before this Wood's dispatch. Okay, but and English education was already provided by the Britishers in India. Okay, but after that also till 1854 there was no kind of act that was passed by British Parliament regarding Indian education. Okay, so basically in 1854 Wood's dispatch was the first act, or we can say that first report that was passed by the British Parliament regarding the education of India, and that is why it is known as the Magna Carta of modern education. Okay, now what was the what was the focus of Wood's dispatch? So Wood's dispatch also focused on the practical benefit of education. Basically, Wood's dispatch also promoted the English education as well as the Western scientific and technological education in India. Okay. What was the purpose of issuing Wood's dispatch? What was the dream of the British officers while issuing this Wood's dispatch? So basically, education was expected to promote an economic understanding. Why Britishers wanted to follow this Wood's dispatch in India? Because they wanted to create an economic understanding between Indian people, so that Indian people can understand the importance of trade and commerce. Okay. The next thing is this: to enable the Indians to recognize the advantages of the development of trade and commerce. According to Britishers, if Indians will be literate according to their education or Western education, then they will know the importance of trade and commerce also. Then, according to Britishers, introducing them to European ways of life. Why they wanted to teach us Western knowledge and why they wanted to teach us in English? Because they wanted us to know that how Europeans live. Okay. And they wanted to change us. They wanted us also to be like Europeans also only, and to be like Britishers only. So basically what they wanted us to adopt the Western culture. Okay. They wanted us so that we could also adopt the Western culture, and if once all Indians will adopt the Western culture, it will open the market for the British made goods. Because yes, when we will become like Britishers only, our taste, our desire, our way of wearing clothes, our lifestyle, all will become like Britishers only, and then the British made goods or the demand for British made goods will increase in India. Okay. So that is why they basically wanted to teach us their language or their way of life, so that we could become like them only, and it can open doors for the British made goods in India. Now the next is, European learning would improve the moral character of Indians. It was the belief of Britishers that Western education can inbuild us moral values also. According to them, once we will learn Western education, okay, we will become trustworthy and honest. And if we will be literate according to the Britishers, they can rely on us. Okay, they can depend on us, and it will create a class of servant, a class of civil servants, so that Britishers can divide their work of administration between some literate Indians. Okay, so all these were the purposes for the issuance of the Wood's dispatch in India. Okay, now here I am going to explain you that what was the major recommendations of the Wood's dispatch. Now, the first of all, Wood's dispatch, the first recommendation was to impart Western knowledge and information. Basically, they wanted to impart, or they wanted to give us the education of Western knowledge, okay, Western culture, about the Western culture to the Indians. Okay, the next point is to educate the natives of India so that a class of public servants could be created. As we have learned one of the statement of Lord Macaulay, that he wanted Indians to be Indians by their blood, okay, and racial color, but by their mind, by their moral values or ethics, they want. Now, the Wood's dispatch also recommended the creation of a Department of Public Instruction. The Wood's dispatch recommended that there should be Department of Public Instruction, okay, under the charge of director in each province. That means at that time there were 5 provinces, that is Bengal, Bombay, Madras, Punjab and Northwestern province. Okay, so every province should have Department of Public Instruction, okay, and that should be under the director. Now the next one is, they wanted to promote mass education. That means elementary education was considered to be the foundation of education system, and it was believed that there should be school in at least one school in every district of India. It was believed by the Britishers, or it was a recommendation of the Wood's dispatch, that there should be one school in each district of India, and it also focused on the primary education. Okay? Establishment of universities. Okay? Now according to the recommendation of Wood's dispatch, universities in the model of London University were proposed to be set up. That means Now in India, according to the Woods Dispatch, there should be establishment of 3 universities just like the London universities, and the universities were set up in the 3 presidency towns of Calcutta, Bombay and Madras. Okay, the universities were to be modeled after the London universities, as well as the universities were to organize departments not only of English. That means these universities also have Indian languages as well as professional education as their subjects. Like today also we are having in universities, we learn different subjects in higher education, as well as there are some professional degrees also like engineering, medical sciences. So according to the recommendation of Woods Dispatch, universities will have all these subjects also, not only English, Indian subjects also. Okay, now next one, the schools must provide secular education. Earlier, the Indian education was based on religion. Religious proponents only teach children, but now the education will be of secular region. That means education will not promote any religion. The school management should run the school well. Now there should be a school management that runs the school. Like today also in school we are having a management that is responsible for taking care of the school administration. The school should agree to state inspection from time to time. That means now time to time the school has now become a state property. Okay, has now become state property, and now state can inspect school time to time for checking the functioning of the school, that school is working properly or not. So are you all able to learn that how the Indian education system is changing? Okay, earlier there were no buildings, now new buildings, universities and colleges, schools are started setting in India. Okay, like that only the pattern is going to be decided that which type of education should be there. Okay, so the school should follow any rule prescribed by the government for the regulation of the grant. Okay, now funding are also provided to the schools for running the schools. Okay, and every school has to follow the rules and regulations decided by the government. Okay, the next is the school must charge fees from the students. Earlier there was no provision of fees, but now according to the Woods Dispatch, every school has to charge some fees from the students. Okay, so like that only the school format or the format of teaching completely changed. Okay, the teaching start was done through textbook. Students were expected to attend schools regularly. Okay, they have to pay the fixed fees. Okay, they have to go for exam. Okay, so school buildings come up and new type of discipline was imposed. So like this only, according to the recommendation of Woods Dispatch, the Indian education changed. Now teaching of languages. Okay, it gave the Woods Dispatch gave importance to vernacular language also. That means Woods Dispatch gave importance to the Indian regional languages also, like Tamil, Telugu, Punjabi, Marathi, okay, Sanskrit, whatever regional language was there. So according to Woods Dispatch, the elementary education, that means the primary education that is up to class 5th, that should be provided in vernacular languages. Okay, now later on the up to high school, the medium of education or the medium of instruction should be English also and should be vernacular also. Okay, so that students can relate both the languages. And in the higher education, the medium of instruction should be only English. So basically they wanted to change us and they wanted to relate us so that we can relate with our mother tongue. So according to Woods Dispatch, it gave importance to teaching of English, but at the same time, it also stressed on the teaching of Indian languages. Okay. Next is, it clearly stated that Indian languages as well as English should be used as medium of instruction. As I have explained you that in elementary education, vernacular languages was there, and in higher education, Anglo vernacular, that means English and vernacular, and in higher education there was only English. Okay. The dispatch also recommended trainings for the teacher. The government or Woods Dispatch also stated that the teachers should also be trained, and for that also some of the training institutions should be set up. There should be training schools for teachers of engineering, medicine and law and other teachers also. The qualified teacher should be given better pay scales. That means the Woods Dispatch also recommended the provision of qualified teachers. According to Woods Dispatch, there should be institutions that can train the teachers, and trained teachers then only teach the students in various schools. Professional education. Now, it also focused on professional education. That means, according to Woods Dispatch recommendation, students should be trained in that education so that they can earn or they can get professional or they can get job opportunities. Okay, so basically it recommended the establishment of medical colleges, engineering colleges, law and other institutions of professional education, so that after completing their studies they can get a better job. Okay, another reason for the encouragement of vocational education. Vocational education क्या होती है? The education through which we can earn something. Okay, the education of skill. Education was to control the problem of unemployment. So basically Woods Dispatch focused on this type of education so that the Indians can be hired in different organizations of the Britishers. Now, here we have seen a lots of merits of what was the benefit of the Woods Dispatch. So students, the first of all benefit of Woods Dispatch was this: it made the government realize the importance of education for people. Okay, it made the British government realize that yes, education is important for the people. Okay, as well as it also gave a proper, this was the first document that relate to the education system, and it provided a grade to the education system because it divided the Indian education into primary, secondary and higher education. Okay, it also encouraged the promotion of mass education, as we were knowing that in India education was only limited, or the right to education was only given to the person or only male member of the high class society. Okay, girls were not allowed to get education. But according to Woods Dispatch, now it focused on mass education, that means education for all. Okay, as well as Woods Dispatch also focused to give funds to the schools so that the private organization or private schools can also run. Okay, it now with the recommendation of Woods Dispatch, in India 3 universities, that in the 3 provinces, set up. Okay, it was also a merit of Woods Dispatch. The Woods Dispatch also encouraged Indians to focus on the necessity of the vocational education and as well as on the teacher training institutions. As like that, in India earlier there was no such kind of vocational training also, and teachers were also not trained. But Woods Dispatch introduced the training of teachers as well as the vocational education, that means the education through which they can earn money. Okay, as well as it also focused the education of the Indian languages as well as the education of the new language, that is English. Okay, so like this only, all these were the merits of Woods Dispatch. But what were the demerits? All these merits or all these recommendations were only in paper. Okay, were only in that note. But is it like that Britishers have in reality followed all those recommendations that were given in Woods Dispatch? That we will see. So here we are going to learn about the demerits of the Woods Dispatch. Okay, so first of all, whatever they have said that they will provide funding, they will provide money to the school organization, they did not do all those. They do not provide any kind of fund to the schools. Okay, the grant in aid system did not work well, as there was paucity of funds and irregularity of the release of funds. Britishers were not able to provide funds to the school. Okay, so the recommendation of providing fund was totally neglected. The next one, the dispatch did not promote vocational education also. It was in the paper that the dispatch will promote or the education system will promote vocational training, but it was also on paper only. Okay, the next is the dispatch in reality promoted Western literature and knowledge. Basically, Woods Dispatch only focused on the promotion of Western education only, and about English, about Indian languages and Indian education was only written on the paper. Okay, They have given preferences to the people, those who know to speak English. Okay. So basically the education planning and management schemes remained only in black and white. That means whatever planning or the management schemes were there, that they will establish a department that will look after of education, all those were just remained in papers only, in writings only. Women education continued to be neglected after the Woods Dispatch recommendation also. Okay? The dispatch produced a class of clerk and accountants but did not develop character and leadership qualities among students. The Britishers started teaching Indians, but they do not want them that Indians can become the leader. So basically they only given us the knowledge that they wanted to give us. Okay? They do not inculcate the character like leadership. Okay? All these qualities they do not inculcate in the Indian students. Okay? Now after the recommendation of Wood's dispatch, there were some more steps taken by the government, okay, or by some of the Indian people also. They have also taken some of the steps for promoting or for developing the education in India. Okay, one of that was the Hunter Commission. Okay, that was also known as Indian Education Commission. So basically Hunter Commission was set up under the chairmanship of Sir William W. Hunter. Okay, and along with Lord Ripon also. So this commission was appointed by Lord Ripon along with Sir William Hunter. Okay, focused on both the primary and secondary education in India. This commission focused on the primary as well as on the secondary education of India, because it basically takes special care for the extension of primary education in vernacular in India. They basically focus that the primary education should be imparted in the regional languages. Okay, and so all these things were given by the Indian Education Commission. Okay, what was its feature? The mother tongue was adopted as the medium of instruction. Model high schools were opened and scholarships and awards were introduced. So all these were the features of the Hunter Commission that was adopted in 1882. Let us see the next one, and that was Indian Universities Commission. It was also known as the Indian Universities Act 1904. Okay, this became Act in 1904, but this commission was appointed by Lord Curzon in 1902. Okay, basically what was the motto of this act? The act increased government control over universities and the control of universities over private colleges. Like today in Gorakhpur, we are having one Gorakhpur University, and under that Gorakhpur Universities there are 100 of colleges, 100 of private running colleges, या private organization. All those private colleges are affiliated from the Gorakhpur University only. So that was only the recommendation of Indian Universities Act, that the universities will be under the control of government and the private colleges were to be under the control of that university. Okay, so basically according to that, grant should be provided to the private colleges. Okay, there were some changes were made in the curriculum, in the syllabus of the university. Basically students, all these topics are very lengthy. Okay, these are in higher education. Only we are providing you the introduction. Okay, so Indian University Act came into 1904, but this commission was set up by Lord Curzon in 1902. Now Sadler Commission or Calcutta University Commission. So Sadler Commission was appointed by the government of India in 1917. Okay, now who was the chairman of this commission? So Dr. Michael Sadler was the chairman of this commission, and basically this commission recommended a 12-year school course before entering the university. Okay, so basically this commission recommended the 12 years of school course. That means 1st to 10th. Okay, and after that 11th and 12th for 2 years, and after that 3 years of graduation. That means you have to complete your 12 years of academics before entering the universities. So this was the recommendation of the Sadler Commission. Okay, So basically it was recommended that colleges should be up to intermediate, that should be up to 12 years of education should be there in school, in academics. Parda schools were established for Muslim girls, and according to the Sadler Commission only, Parda schools were set up since Muslims girls were not allowed for education. So for that, according to by keeping in mind their comfort, Parda schools were established. Intermediate classes were separated from the universities, and up to the 12th, okay, the school, that was the school, and from after 12th it became universities. So school and universities were separated, okay. Intermediate was separated from the university. So that was the Sadler Commission, okay. In 1948, or if we will talk about the committee, so that committee was set up, or that was working from 1944 to 49. This I am talking about the committee of Radhakrishnan, Dr. Sarvapalli Radhakrishnan. This was the committee that was formed after the independence of India, okay. But basically this committee also worked in the field of Indian education, because this committee basically focused on the quality of education, as well as, okay, this basically focused on the quality of education. As you can see here, according to Dr. Sarvapalli Radhakrishnan, there was one committee formed. That committee was also known as University Education Commission, okay. This committee was set up in 1948, and there were some provisions of this committee. This committee fixed the number of working days, at least 120 days the school, or whatever working days in the school are there should be at least 180 working days in a year, okay. A school should run for at least 180 days in a year. Attendance at lectures was made compulsory for undergraduate students. The students of academics, that means like today also we basically focused on your attendance. So that, like that only, since in earlier in Indian education attendance do not play any role, that is why according to the Radhakrishnan committee, attendance was given major importance, and it was told that attendance during the lecture was important. Maximum number of seats in different courses was fixed. Like today also, when we go to take admission in universities, so seats are fixed in the colleges. Like only 100 seats should be there for science in this college, only 50 seats should be there for maths in this college. So seats are basically fixed in the colleges, and admissions or entrance exam are taken for that 100 seats only, okay. So those who will qualify that entrance exam, they will get admission in the college. So like that only, in universities seats were fixed for particular subjects. Refresher courses were organized by universities for high schools and intermediate classes, okay. Various courses were organized by the universities. University Grant Commission, you have listened the name UGC, okay. University Grant Commission, the organization that provides grant, that provides funding to the university for better functioning, that was also set up. That allocated finance, that means that provide money to the universities for performing its functions. So this is all about University Education Commission. So all these were the other commissions that were set up to develop the Indian education in India, rather than the Woods Dispatch, okay. So this is all for this part. I will provide you with more part for this video, and in that we will focus about national education, and we will also learn that how Mahatma Gandhi and Rabindranath Tagore look upon the colonial education in India. We learn about their views on the colonial education. Okay students, so this is all for today. Please watch the video and meet me in the Zoom classes with your queries. Thank you students.